Base resonator here. I'm going to experiment today, continuing my experiment of mixing types of epoxy. What I did was I had the unfortunate happenstance of many resinists where one part runs out before another, and usually the part that runs out is part B. But due to shipping problems, I ended up with more part B of this Incredible Solutions 2-to-1 mixture. So I had a little bit of leftover part A 2-to-1 mixture of Platinum 360. Well, I only had about an ounce of that, so I mixed the ounce with a half an ounce of this pourable plastic, and it worked, as I showed people. It took a little bit longer to cure, maybe because this resin is a little bit old. Maybe it's because I was mixing brands. I don't know. But today I am going to try another experiment, and I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to try mixing 2-to-1 with 1-to-1. I have leftover A from Let's Resin, and it was either going to be make my own resin paste with different colors using that A, or try some type of experiment like I'm going to be doing here. But I have very little of this B left, so I thought I might as well try and use up what I've got. But what I have done on this little half spheres mold, it's made for cooking, but I don't use it for cooking at all. So I have A and I have B. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up very little in these little 3.5 ounce, 4 ounce Dixie cups. As I'm going to mix up a little bit in A over here, I'm going to mix up 2-to-1 in its normal 2-to-1 ratio. So I will have 2 parts of part A with 1 part of part B. Now on B, I'm going to mix them 1-to-1, as the A epoxy is a 1-to-1 resin. So don't know if it's going to work. One might work, one might not work, but we'll find out. And I may play around with adding a little bit of color to one, and one color in one and another color in another one to keep them separate, but I'll figure that out as I go along. But experiment day is upon us. Okay, so I poured these out here in the garage, an A, which is their normal ratios, using 2 parts of A to 1 part of B. So this was a lot thicker than the blue, which is part B, which is 1-to-1 ratio. So each one of them I had enough for 6 and then 7. So each one has 7. Don't know what's going to happen. I've got them out here in the garage, so if something decides to start stinking, it's going to be out here instead of in the house. But I'll come back to you much later and see what happens. I don't think this is going to work, but who knows? That one I did yesterday did work, so we'll see. Well, I wake up, and that's hard. All of these hardened up. So I guess mixing different types of resins, different brands, and even mixing different ratios works. Fascinating. Now I need to come up with a project where I need a bunch of little sphere pieces. But they hardened up fine. Fascinating. I didn't give this much of a chance at all. So now I guess I can either, well, they're not completely half spheres, so I can't make them into a sphere by connecting them. Maybe I can do some other type of artwork with these. Well, I'll keep getting my big old hand in the way. So yeah, we got pretty little green and blue half spheres. So that experiment worked as well. Wonder what I'm going to try next, because I don't have much of that part B left. But I do have some of that A resin left, so I'll figure out what to do. I may keep it on for a little bit longer until something else comes along. So, happy experimenting. Have fun with your resin.